Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphanlast, aka Skylar Madison, and today I'm coming at you with another Noblefrugal Studio collaboration video where I'm painting out this wunderbar masterpiece, and I'm going to go ahead and submit it over to Noblefrugal Studio, which is a channel on YouTube, and it's ran by a guy called Sebastian. He's a really good guy. He's got a really good teaching style for open tunes. He's going to go ahead and use this background inside of a complex animated scene. So as soon as I have this finished, and as soon as he can go ahead and actually animate something on this, I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys would like to take a look at his channel, a link is supplied in the video description below. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this video, okay? So earlier this week I damaged my left hand. I injured it. And basically what happened is I have, like everyone has this, is a series of carpals, which is a series of tiny bones at the base of the hand. It's right next to the wrist. I fractured one of those. And since these little bones are so small, just a fracture is considered to be a break. And it's unbelievable just how subtle it appeared on the x-rays and everything like that. It just, if it wasn't just for some tiny little thing, I wouldn't have even noticed. But anyways, yeah, it's a fracture. And as soon as the swelling goes down, I'll have my hand in a cast. And so 6 to 8 weeks to recover fully. Yay! Now this actually had me really worried because, well, you know, I am ambidextrous, which means I'm both-handed. I can use both hands to do a lot of different things, but not everything. And not everything is interchangeable. Not everything that I can do with one hand I can do with another. If it's paper and pencil, I can draw with both hands. In fact, I have two different artistic styles with either hand, and I like to blend them together when I'm drawing on pencil and paper. But I can't do that when I'm drawing with a graphics tablet. I can do it with something like a Cintiq, but I can't do it with a graphics tablet. Something about my right hand, it just does not want to learn the learning curve, and it just wants to be messing around with the keyboard. Like, I can try as hard as I can to try to adjust to the injury and stuff, but my right hand just seems to refuse. So everything that you're seeing on the screen right now is done with my hand inside of a brace. And the animation that I did for the week, that's done with a brace as well. And, you know, the doctor said that's fine. He said just let pain be your guide. And so, yeah, you know, as long as I'm not feeling an overabundance of pain, I can go ahead and animate with my left hand. I can draw with my left hand. Awesome. It's a little bit more difficult because I don't have any wrist movement, but oh well. That's that. It is what it is. So, basically what happened is if I were to be standing up and I fell over, that's about the distance that I fell. But it could have been way worse. I could have fallen something like 20 feet, pretty close to that actually. I could have fallen into a slid, and then fallen into an empty swimming pool. I have a pretty dangerous job, but I love this job. Even though it's just something that I have right now to just get by until eventually, hopefully, I can make it big on YouTube. That would be awesome. I would love that. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. But yeah, it's a dangerous job, and you know, it could potentially make it so that I might not be able to do what I love doing. But yeah, it was kind of funny running into the doctor. First time ever meeting him, and he's like, wow, I just looked through your medical history, and I can see that you broke a lot of bones. Like, did you do that all in one incident? I'm like, yeah. He's like, wow. Anyways, so just as another topic, Constantine and I, we've been talking about how OpenTunes 1.2.0 how it's an awesome distribution of OpenTunes, but there keeps being reports of problems. Like I said with my video, OpenTunes 1.2 is here. There are graphics tablet problems for some people. Some people it's just fine. But for me and a few other people, for some reason, somehow, we are experiencing problems. And, it's not just us. There's other people. Linux distributions are experiencing problems. Ubuntu, specifically, is having problems. Now, Ubuntu, this is a big problem. Ubuntu is like one of the most commonly used distributions of Linux for people that are transitioning from Mac OS X or transitioning from Windows to Linux. And these people are experiencing some serious issues with this latest distribution, with the graphics tablet. So it's great that we've been able to work out at least most of the problems with the graphics tablets with Mac OS X, but it has had some pretty bad after effects with other distributions. So that sucks. Now, there's no one to place blame to. Like, in the end, it's not like we can turn to somebody and say, I want my refund. It's free. And so we need to appreciate what it is. And we can't gripe too much about it, is basically what I'm saying. So, yeah. I've been talking to Constantine about it, and there's other problems. There's the gray viewer of death is what I call it. Basically, it's where the viewer is 100% gray. You can't see what you're drawing, and you know that you're drawing something because the level strip little thumbnails are telling you that you're drawing something, but you're not able to see it. So that's not acceptable. So for most of us, we're able to transition pretty easily over to OTX, but not for the Linux distribution. The people using Linux are still using Windows 1.1.3. And it sucks. We have this open source piece of software, and the people that are using the most open source content are suffering the worst from all of this. So Constantine and I were trying to find a solution to the problem. Now, I still need to kind of bring up the issue of the gray viewer of death. It just barely occurred to me. But so far what we've been working on, he sent me over a few new experimental builds of OpenTunes Marevna Edition that have the attempt to fix the tablet issues. And I already have an experimental build of OpenTunes 1.2. It still says 1.1.3, but I have an experimental build of 1.1.2. I'm sorry, 1.2.0 basically, that has no tablet issues. And I told him which one of them worked for me. And that, I think, gave him a bit of a baseline to work with. And so now I think he's on the right track to fixing the tablet issues for those of us that have problems with it. Now, if you don't experience any problems with the graphics tablets, just keep using the version that you're currently using, unless, of course, 1.1.2.0. I'm sorry, 1.2.0. Whatever. The newest Marevna edition that came out this week. If this version is working for you just fine, then yeah, just keep using what you got. Because ultimately the tablet fix that Constantine is going to be doing is basically removing the macOS tablet fix so that everybody else, Linux and everybody else that are experiencing problems can experience OpenTunes 1.2.0.1 with no issues at all. That's the goal. I know that I'm saying this stuff pretty convolutedly, but there's really no other way to say it, and it's easy for me to even get mixed up with all the numbers. Okay, so basically, I will bring up the gray screen of the gray viewer of death to Constantine, and since I don't have the issue of the gray viewer of death, what I need is somebody who has experienced it, and basically to come forward to talk to me, and as soon as Constantine has what he thinks is a fix for the gray viewer of death, he can possibly send me over a version of OpenTunes Marevna that fixes the gray viewer of death, and then I can send it over to you, and you can tell me if it fixes it or not. And once he has the tablet issue fixed, once he has the gray viewer of death fixed, we can go ahead and get a version of OpenTunes 1.2.0.1 out to everybody that has everything, that won't cause a problem for everybody. So there's going to be versions that multiple versions that'll work for some but not everybody, and but you'll have to try them all out. That's basically the fix that we have getting worked on right now, is what we're doing. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Now, since I have more time for the video, and such like that, I might as well address some side notes. Since my hand is injured, it actually got me to experiment with animation differently. Now, one of the things that more experienced animators have been telling me is that I'm not flipping from frame to frame often enough in my rough animation process. And I've been thinking, well, how do I do that? And the thing is they're saying that, oh, the onion skins are a crutch. But the thing is I'm not, at least currently, I'm not able to visualize anything if I don't have the onion skins turned on. So basically what I did is I turned the onion skins on, and since I had difficulty drawing, I started drawing these little dots in between the red and green lines. So drawing a bunch of dots, and this is normal actually. It's called point-to-point animation. And I used to wonder why the coloring books when I was a kid always had these little dot-to-dot puzzles where you draw from point 1 to point 2 to point 3 and continue until you have a finished drawing. I used to wonder what the point of that was. It was to make sure that you got to be a better artist, and so, or animator, a good animator. And so basically, when you draw these little points, it makes it easier for you to see when there's a problem, and you're able to flip between the 3 frames. And if you drew out a point in the wrong position, you can totally tell. So each little stroke that you make, you flip back and flip forward twice, and you see a little bit of an animation going on. If there's a problem with it, you can fix it easy. If you just draw it out with the onion skins all fully like how I have in the past, you have a bunch of lines that are wrong, and it's hard to know which one to fix. Anyways, that pretty much concludes it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, please like, share, and subscribe anyways. If you guys would like to check out any of my other videos, they're on the screen right now. Anyways, guys, peace out. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas. All that good stuff. Have a great one.